Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Jody, could you call the roll, please?
Harold,
Here.
Hollenbaugh,
Here.
Musgrave,
Here.
Odericio,
Here.
Phipps,
Here.
Robinette.
Here.
Okay. The minutes for our last meeting, which was on August 18th, distributed for you to review prior to this evening. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Jody, do we have any correspondence this evening?
We do not.
Okay. Do we have people signed up for lobby visitation?
We do. Debbie Thompson,
If you could please give your name and address for the record.
As soon as I can see y'all. Debbie Thompson, 1003 Chauncey Lane, apartment 32 in Bowling Green. I'm here to talk about BG Song's fall walk audit. We're doing a kickoff on September 14th. It'll last again for 2 weeks. We'll be observing the intersections and crosswalks, identifying ways to improve pedestrian safety and accessibility. This audit was specifically planned so that the local schools and BGSU students would be back in session. We have also added safe routes to schools as well as other intersections affected with the increase of student pedestrians. Our walk audits are a powerful way to see our neighborhoods through the eyes of pedestrians. Our volunteers will be out there to spot challenges, then come back together to share their experiences. The end goal is to have information that will help us advocate for changes that will make our community safer for everyone. The audit is part of the group's ongoing effort to reduce traffic hazards, improve pedestrian infrastructure, and create safer routes for residents of all ages and abilities. Participants will evaluate crosswalks, signage, and traffic flow. Findings from the audit will be shared with city leaders to guide future safety enhancements. I would like to invite the members of the City Council, BG City leaders, and any employees to volunteer. Anyone interested in volunteering for the walk audit can sign up on the BGSU Serves platform or by sending an email with walk audit in the subject line to bowlinggreensong@gmail.com or contact BG Song directly at 419-356-3330. No prior experience is necessary, just a willingness to observe, take notes, and help make Bowling Green streets safer and more welcoming for everyone. Any questions?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rose Drain,
I am Rose Drain. I live at 228 East Court Street. I am here to launch in the eye of the public our Rock Our Vets project. We are very grateful to the Bowling Green Community Foundation for having received a grant of $7,500 to support the project. We are partnering with the Wood County Veterans Services Office and with the BGSU non-traditional and military students office, as well as the C. Raymond Marvin Center for Student Leadership and Civic Engagement. Those are our current partners. We've also connected with VFW and American Legion and I believe AMVETS also. So we are looking for veterans who live within the city of Bowling Green, who own their homes, who want assistance with weatherizing their homes to make them more comfortable and more energy efficient, thereby reducing utility bills. But also people who want some help with projects to make their homes safer. So maybe strengthening a ramp that they've already got, or rebuilding some steps, or so weatherization, but also some exterior needs. We've had a couple approach us already who has, they have a tree that they are concerned is old, will fall on their house. The arborist can't help because it's outside the grant area that the city has. So that sort of thing. We are also seeking volunteers. So this is, well, if we address that tree, we will hire a professional and hope they give us some in-kind contribution toward the cost. But we are looking for volunteers to fuel the project. So volunteer support, and then also support by sponsors. So businesses, organizations, individuals can sponsor. And donations. So if someone wants to help but doesn't want to do any of those things, we're also just taking outright donations. So anyway, I am speaking at Rotary about this and have a few brochures left for that meeting. I gave some to the press. I will send you an email with the brochure. It won't look like as nice as this because when you get the PDF, it won't be a trifold, but you'll get the gist of it and hopefully scan one of the QR codes. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much.
That's everyone for this evening.
Okay. That brings us to the introduction of new legislation.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
from the Finance Committee, I have two ordinances. First, an ordinance providing supplemental and/or amending appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025. And an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a gift and sale and purchase agreement with Robert and Patricia Maurer to acquire certain property on Newton Road.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps.
from the Planning, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee, I have an ordinance authorizing the renewal of a temporary reduction and/or moratorium of certain residential building permit fees.
Mr. President,
Mr. Musgrave.
I have an ordinance from the Parks, Rec, and Public Lands Committee authorizing the municipal administrator to enter into contracts for the installation of a fluid-applied membrane roof at Bowling Green Community Center.
Okay. Next, we have official reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Council. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm sure many of you join me in anticipation of this weekend's Black Swamp Festival. I feel like this weekend, building on the success of the recent Rally BG downtown event, which took place a couple of weeks ago, provide great opportunity for our community to come together and socialize and support very important and beneficial community events. So I want to provide my my words of thanks for those responsible for presenting a very successful Rally BG this year, including our partners at BGSU, and also in advance offer my thanks for those who worked so hard year-round to organize and present the Black Swamp Festival. That truly is a significant event that has been recognized nationally for its success. So we should be very proud to be the home of the Black Swamp. I know that I am, and I'm sure that you feel the same way. So looking forward to opportunities to get out and socialize and enjoy the festival this week, and hope to see you all down there. That completes my report, subject to any questions that you might have.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I already know the answer to this, but I want to give you a forum, Mike. So, the zip line at Rally BG, who won?
Well, I think it was a tie. Yeah, I think it was a tie, which is in many ways a victory because, as you know, I've gone down to resounding defeat in the previous 4 years. So walking away from this year's event with a tie, I'm proud of that, and we'll effort next year to get an outright victory.
There you go.
Wear a backpack with sandbags.
I've considered those methods that might provide me an edge, yes, because I am at a disadvantage.
I could sacrifice my body and just walk in front of him.
I don't think we need to go that far, Mark, but thanks for the offer.
All right. Anything else for the mayor this evening? All right, Municipal Administrator, Ms. Treader.
And to tag on to the mayor's comments about the Black Swamp Arts Festival, of course, we'll have various closures and other restrictions throughout the downtown area to support the festival. These are the same as they've been in past years, but of course, we want to highlight some areas with parking restrictions actually starting as soon as Thursday in city parking lot number 2. There are other phased-in areas in that parking lot where the music takes place. We've also extended some closures to some adjoining streets of the downtown to allow for better traffic flow as people are navigating the area. So just as people are navigating, parking, please be mindful of signages in the area, and we wish everyone a safe and successful festival. Joining me this evening is our planning director, Heather Saylor, to give an update on the many goings-on in our planning department. So I'm going to turn it over to Heather.
Good evening. Good to see you all. So I'm not going to probably be as exciting as roundabouts and the fire chief and all that good stuff, but I will do my best to give you some of the main highlights from the planning department. Last time I was here was, I believe, February when we basically reviewed our 2024 report. So this is more of a touching base on what's happened so far this year. Usually most people are interested in zoning permits, so we are near equal to this time last year, but we were at 286 at this time last year compared to 273, so just down slightly. We have had 40 single housing starts compared to 28 at this time last year, so those are definitely up. We've had application for a multi-unit dwelling compared to none at this time last year. We've had no commercial additions. We have had one new commercial building. As far as highlighting new construction, I gave you a list of other things like addition, commercial, and that sort of thing, but I thought for the benefit of time, we'll just highlight the new construction. So we have Town and Country Animal Health Care that was issued a permit, which will be located on 811 South Dunbridge Road. They've already started construction on that. As far as commercial, we are close to issuing a permit for Speedway. They'll be reconstructing their building, much larger, and that will be at 1650 East Wooster Street. As far as some obvious things, the Bowling Green High School, that permit we've issued, of course, this year, along with the pickleball courts. And again, I mentioned the R3 multi-unit application for new construction, Bowling Green Senior Living, it's called. It'll be 66 dwelling units. We're also close to issuing that permit, which will be located near Aldi's on South Main Street. As far as Planning Commission, they have reviewed several subdivisions this year, so they approved the final plat for Stonebrook, second edition, Cogan's Crossing, 2 St. Springs, Plat 2, Wood Acres final plat, and annexation they reviewed, 2 on Newton, 2 on Sandridge, and then we've already discussed at the last meeting, 14,000 block of Bishop near Brim Road. They did not have any rezoning requests so far this year, and they did review text amendments to the zoning code, which were actually effective on January 2nd, that we had council review also. And they sent you text amendments for smoke and vape shops that you will be discussing in the next month or so. And then we welcome one new member to the Planning Commission. Zoning Board, we actually welcome 2 new members this year, and we have had a decrease in variance requests. And I do really think a lot of that has to do with our text amendment changes, especially for driveways. So we had 21 at this time last year requests, and we're at 14 so far, although they've met almost every single month. So we've still had the same amount of meetings, just less requests. So Historic Preservation Commission, they stay pretty busy, but we did get exciting news last week that the Downtown Historical Signage Project is a finalist for the Best Downtown Placemaking Award, and they are going to have a ceremony. It's sponsored by Heritage Ohio at the Historic Canton Palace Theater as part of their annual conference. So we're excited about that. It's actually literally like an award ceremony. You kind of get dressed up and you have no idea who's going to win. So everybody's on pins and needles. You just know that you're a finalist. So if you can join us on October 15th, that'd be great. If not, that's fine. We're excited to have our sign committee and some HPC members attend that celebration. HPC also had 2 local designations so far this year, 503 Buttonwood and 416 West Wooster Street. They held National Preservation Month celebrations again. So we had a downtown signage scavenger hunt, the History Lives Here signs again, and new this year was local history pedal bike tours, which were really fun. I don't know if any of you were able to attend those, but we hope to continue those. The pedal bike company has reached out and they want to do special things with BGSU, like homecoming and when the parents visit, and so we'll see more of those happening. They are in year 3 of their Historic Preservation Commission strategic plan, so we will continue updating that. Rental registration and self-inspection program. So far we have 7,285 registrations. And we have had close to 1,500 inspections submitted so far this year. And of course, we still have time. You know, the end of the year is the new due date, so we anticipate there'll probably be quite the influx as we get closer to the end of the year. We have sent out several reminder emails, you know, hoping landlords would submit them sooner. For example, when college students are not here during the summer and then they return. So we try to do as many reminders as we can. So we took legal action on 1 rental owner from 2024 who did not submit their required self-inspections, and we're handling that. We also had 21 failed inspections from last year, and so far we have had 10 fixed. 5 of these failures are actual under renovation, like major renovation. So those are still in process, and we are awaiting updates from remaining 5 of those failures. Some of them properties have sold, which is another challenge with the program, is that properties constantly being transferred or the use changed. We also launched a new rental portal in March, which may not be too exciting, but so far we've had a lot of positive feedback from our landlords. There's a lot more information on the portal. It's much more attractive, and it's been easier for staff to put a lot of the onerous on the program back onto the landlord so they can log into their account and change their information or make updates. And so I gave you a couple screenshots just to see how that looks. Again, I think it's going pretty well. We've had a lot of success, I think, with participation, and now we have landlords that actually, they buy another house and then they contact us right away and want to add it. So we feel like that's really getting the word out. We're happy to see that people are becoming more aware of the program, and that, you know, we want your information. We want it to be current, and we want to keep up on all that. We actually have shared the information interdepartmentally, which is really helpful. Like the police department will call us and say, hey, you know, we have this property, we can't get a hold of somebody, can you help us? So we feel like we've had a lot of successes with the rental program. So we are continuing to update our access management policies and guidelines. We actually have a steering committee meeting next week. And the subdivision regulations, we are working on a contract with a consulting firm, so more information to come on that. I anticipate we'll have somebody from council that will want to be part of our steering committee along with Planning Commission. That will be a really big project and important to align that with our zoning code update. And then we're working with our JS department to make our permit application processes across the city digital. Why is that taking a while? Well, we're hoping to have it ready by November, but it's really been taking something that is a really big deal and making it totally digital. So just imagine starting from nothing and then every single detail and catering it to Bowling Green. So, but we're excited. We've made a lot of progress. It looks really nice. We're going to be able to accept credit cards at that time, which I know, again, you know, not a lot of people, I think, use cash anymore. So we're trying to appeal to all users to get those, make permit process as easy as possible. Wood County Health Department, we've received 45 complaints so far this year. We've had 23 resolved, 21 are still in progress, and 1 was sent to the city prosecutor. And I think once we do our end of the year report, you're going to see some really amazing pictures of before and after of all the work the health department's done. And we'll be excited to share that. And surprisingly, we're already due next year for our 5-year exterior housing evaluation survey by the health department. If you remember that, they actually look at every single residential property in the city and give the city a report. That's our way of being proactive and staying on top of housing issues. So we do anticipate that probably in late 2026 to get those results. So otherwise, that's it, unless you have any specific questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Heather? I have a couple questions. The registration, 7,285. We don't know of any properties that aren't registered, right?
Correct. And that's part of the challenges with this program. You can't just look at a house and know it's a rental,
Right.
9 times out of 10. So as far as we know, we have them all.
Okay. But new ones do show up from time to time.
Absolutely. And people change the use. The house across where I live was a rental for many years, and now they moved out, bought a new house, and now it's going to be for sale and likely be owner occupied. So, those kind of changes happen on a weekly basis. So we're always trying to track those changes.
Okay. The other one was a park question about pickleball court. Do you know, are we planning on adding some kind of shade features out there? Yeah,
The mayor helped on the steering committee.
okay,
Yes, we're waiting for that structure to be delivered.
okay.
As soon as it's delivered, it will be constructed. And once that's constructed, that will pretty much complete that project, and will then coordinate, organize, and publicize a ribbon cutting event for that facility. Hoping still that that's going to happen this year.
I have not played, but I've talked to people that played, and they say it's a wonderful facility, but it gets hot because there's no shade, so
Yep,
it's good to know that shade's on the way.
hopefully the structure that is going to be installed will remedy that problem.
Okay. Any questions for either Heather or Lori? No? All right, thank you very much. Okay, that brings us to City Attorney, Mr. Brown.
Good evening. No report.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Brown this evening? Okay. Public Infrastructure Director, Mr. O'Connell.
Good evening. No report unless you have questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. O'Connell this evening? Okay. Council committee reports. Any council committee reports this evening?
Mr. President?
Ms. Phipps?
Immediately before council this evening, we held the required public hearing on ordinance 9297.
Okay. I guess just so that I don't forget, I'll remind everyone that council's strategic planning meeting will be on Thursday, September 18th at 6 p.m. Here in the council chambers. That is not a regular council meeting. There will be no action or public input that evening. That is just a work session for members of city council. Any other council committee reports? Okay, that brings us to the reading of legislation.
Legislation for first reading. Ordinance, ordinance number 9311 for first reading. Ordinance providing supplemental and/or amending appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2025 and ending December 31, 2025.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette,
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 9311 its second and third readings.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
Okay, the rules are suspended for ordinance 9311.
Ordinance 9311 for second and third readings. Ordinance providing supplemental and/or amending appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2025 and ending December 31, 2025.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette,
I move to adopt ordinance 9311.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes. So ordinance 9311 is adopted.
Ordinance 9312 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a gift and sale and purchase agreement with Robert and Patricia Mauer to acquire certain property on Newton Road.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette,
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 9312 its second and third readings. No?
Mr. President, it's that
I'll withdraw that then.
okay. I was going to say, I wasn't expecting that. All right, Jody, go ahead.
Okay. Ordinance 9313 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the renewal of a temporary reduction and/or moratorium of certain residential building permit fees. Ordinance 9314, ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to enter into contracts for the installation of a fluid-applied membrane roof at the Bowling Green Community Center. Legislation for second reading. It's 9306 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator and the utilities department to sign an LPA agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, and to request qualifications and to advertise for bids and enter into contracts for design, engineering, right-of-way acquisition, construction, and other services related to the Brim Road and Bishop Road roundabout project and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we suspend the rules and give ordinance 9306 its third reading.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave.
Yes.
Okay, the rules are suspended for ordinance 9306.
Ordinance 9306 for third reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator and the utilities director to sign an LPA agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, and to request qualifications and to advertise for bids and enter into contracts for design, engineering, right-of-way acquisition, construction, and other services related to the Brim Road and Bishop Road roundabout project and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we adopt the emergency clause for ordinance 9306.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Jody?
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
All right, the emergency clause is adopted for ordinance 9306.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we adopt ordinance 9306.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I brought this up at the previous meeting, but I don't think I was as clear as I should have been. And so I'm going to repeat some of it, maybe go a little further. This is a good project. It's a needed roundabout. I've mentioned that before. About 80% of the construction cost is being obtained with outside money, which is good. But about $750,000 of our money, our 4029 street repair fund money, is being used for this, and it's a good use of money. But the point that I made last time with respect to the other roundabout, which was about $1 million from that fund, is not that regular street repair is not as important as this. They're both important. Regular street repair, all of us know, we have more streets than money. And so for these major projects, it takes money from what we could be spending on regular street repair. So the point that I was making is there's an opportunity cost, and it would be nice if we had some way of supplementing the 4029 fund. And that was, of course, the impetus for the amendment that I had several meetings ago. So my point is, we need to get more monies for this and be creative in how we go with these major projects that are needed, but also spend the money that is needed on the regular street repair. So I just wanted to clarify that point.
Any other discussion? Jody?
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 9306 is adopted.
Ordinance 9307 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator and the utilities director to sign an LPA agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, and to request qualifications and to advertise for bids and enter into a contract or contracts for design, engineering, right-of-way acquisition, construction, and other services relating to the installation of a pedestrian hybrid beacon at West Gypsy Lane and the Slippery Elm Trail and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold?
I move that we suspend the rules and give ordinance 9307 its third reading.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
All right, the rules are suspended for ordinance 9307.
Ordinance 9307 for third reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator and the utilities director to sign an LPA agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, and to request qualifications and to advertise for bids and enter into a contract or contracts for design, engineering, right-of-way acquisition, construction, and other services relating to the installation of a pedestrian hybrid beacon at West Gypsy Lane and the Slippery Elm Trail, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold?
I move that we adopt the emergency clause for ordinance 9307.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Jody?
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
All right, the emergency clause is adopted for ordinance 9307.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold?
I move that we adopt ordinance 9307.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
this is another great example of how well the administration goes and finds outside money. 90% of this, the cost of this is outside money, 10%, about $50,000 from the 4029 fund. And I just want to say that my wife and I were on biking on Slippery Elm Trail last night, and I can tell you that it would be nice to have this.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
because we're talking about a hybrid beacon, I just want to offer to Lori and the administration that in the last week or so, I was approached by a woman who lived on Buttonwood talking, and she gave me an unsolicited comment compliment to the city for installing the hybrid beacon on West Worcester. She was thrilled to death that she was able to take her kids across to the park without walking down to the police station and use it to crossing like there. So I'm just sharing that with you. There was a lot of, we don't often hear unsolicited compliments, but they're real happy with that beacon. So anyway.
We don't often hear solicited compliments.
No, true enough.
Any other discussion? Jody?
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes, ordinance 9307 is adopted.
Ordinance 9308 for second reading. Ordinance amending and adopting certain sections of Chapter 150 of the codified ordinances of the City of Ohio regarding zoning code. Ordinance 9309 for second reading. Ordinance accepting easement from Pheasant Farms Homeowners Association for property located at 0 Manitoba Drive, parcel number B085110140409017001, excuse me. Ordinance 9310 for second reading. Ordinance dedicating a perpetual easement for highway purposes without limitation of existing access rights in the name and for the use of the city of Bowling Green, Wood County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps,
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 9310 its third reading.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Odericio?
Yes.
Phipps?
Yes.
Robinette?
Yes.
Harold?
Yes.
Hollenbaugh?
Yes.
Musgrave?
Yes.
All right, the rules are suspended for ordinance 9310.
Ordinance 9310 for third reading. Ordinance dedicating a perpetual easement for highway purposes without limitation for existing access rights in the name and for the use of the city of Bowling Green, Wood County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
I move to adopt the emergency clause for ordinance 9310.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Phipps?
Yes.
Robinette?
Yes.
Harold?
Yes.
Hollenbaugh?
Yes.
Musgrave?
Yes.
Odericio?
Yes.
All right, the emergency clause is adopted for ordinance 9310.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
I move to adopt ordinance 9310.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Robinette?
Yes.
Harold?
Yes.
Hollenbaugh?
Yes.
Musgrave?
Yes.
Odericio?
Yes.
Phipps?
Yes.
All right, ordinance 9310 is adopted.
Ordinance for third reading. Resolution 3888 for third reading. Resolution authorizing the city of Bowling Green to participate in the local park improvement grant program and to file an application and accept grant funding upon grant application approval.
Mr. President,
Mr. Musgrave?
I move to adopt Resolution 3888.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Harold?
Yes.
Hollenbaugh?
Yes.
Musgrave?
Yes.
Odericio?
Yes.
Phipps?
Yes.
Robinette?
Yes.
All right, resolution 3888 is adopted.
Ordinance 9299 for third reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to enter into an agreement with AMP Inc. for the renewal of the Efficiency Smart Program.
I move to adopt ordinance 9299.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Hollenbaugh?
Yes.
Musgrave?
Yes.
Odericio?
Yes.
Phipps?
Yes.
Robinette?
Yes.
Harold?
Yes.
All right, ordinance 9299 is adopted.
Ordinance 9300 for third reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to execute a make-ready cost concurrence agreement with Buckeye Broadband.
I move to adopt ordinance 9300.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Musgrave?
Yes.
Odericio?
Yes.
Phipps?
Yes.
Robinette?
Yes.
Harold?
Yes.
Hollenbaugh?
Yes, ordinance 9300 is adopted.
Ordinance 9301 for third reading. Ordinance accepting deed from Albert L. Potter II, trustee, the Living Trust of Albert L. Potter II, and dedicating the property for right-of-way and all municipal and utility purposes.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
I move to adopt ordinance 9301.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Odericio?
Yes.
Phipps?
Yes.
Robinette?
Yes.
Harold?
Yes.
Hollenbaugh?
Yes.
Musgrave?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 9301 is adopted.
Ordinance 9302 for third reading. Ordinance accepting deed from the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, and dedicating the property for right-of-way and all municipal and utility purposes.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
I move to adopt ordinance 9302.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 9302 is adopted.
Ordinance 9303 for third reading. Ordinance amending and adopting Section 72.39 regarding low-speed micro-mobility devices and abolishing Chapter 123 regarding micro-mobility devices of the codified ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio.
Mr. President,
Mr. Odericio?
I move that we adopt ordinance 9303.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President?
Mr. Harold?
First, I want to sincerely, deeply commend Hunter for taking the initiative and trying to clean up the code and consolidate various sections. I think that's very commendable and well done. And it's important that that be realized as I go into the rest of my comments. I have a couple problems with this, and one of them is the definition has does not include skateboards or unicycles, or even, it's probably rare but possible to have tricycles, and not necessarily the way that we think of tricycles for little tykes, but basically bicycles that either have two wheels in the front and one in the back, or one in the front, two in the back. We've seen them around. Those wouldn't be included, probably not many, but I can tell you that a few years back, there was somebody that was on an electric unicycle that would go really pretty fast. So that's one thing. But another issue that I have with this is that it says may not be operated on sidewalks, and I understand the rationale for it, believe me. There's a statistic that the Bicycle Safety Commission uses quite often, and that is that 90% of bicycle accidents occur when bicycles are on sidewalks, predominantly because when people are backing out of their driveways, they're checking both sides, thinking pedestrian and the pace of a pedestrian, whereas if somebody's going down the sidewalk on a bicycle or whatever, it's just not in the range that people think of. So I get that, but the problem that I have with it is if there are individuals, we'll say, just think of kids, that have scooters that are electric, that can be used with or without the electric engaged, they would not be, according to this, they would not be permitted to be on sidewalks, which means they'd have to be on the street. And in the discussion of this, there's also some places in the city where if you're on a bike, you should be in the street, but the street's pretty darn dangerous, but the sidewalk isn't. And so these types of things come up, and I understand that the counter argument would be, well, the police aren't going to enforce in those situations, or if you're using your scooter or your bike, your electric bike or whatever, and you're not engaged, you're not using the electric, which means you're not going that fast, then you wouldn't be cited. But the point is you'd be breaking the law. And the gist of the issue isn't whether something's electric or not. It's the speed. If something's electric and you're not going that fast, that's really no different than a regular bike or scooter or whatever. And so we're kind of substituting a surrogate of, is it electric or not, or motorized, I should say, when we're really interested in the speed. So for me, I would like to leave it to the parents for deciding whether or not their kid that may or have an electric scooter or whatever use a sidewalk or not. I don't want them to be forced to either technically break the law or go out in the street. And so for me, what I've got with this, the problems I have with it, yeah, there's a few items that aren't included that I think should be, but the idea that may not be operated on sidewalks is kind of tackling the wrong thing. It's the speed, not what type of device is on the sidewalk. And honestly, I don't know whether to just simply vote no on it or whether to offer an amendment to strike the may not be operated on sidewalks, or request that somehow this be tabled for further study. And whichever way, informally, is there any particular of those three options that you would prefer, you meaning the rest of council? I don't want to start making motions here and there if there's a clear preference. But that's my issue with it right now, is I can't vote for it right now.
Hunter, do you have anything to add with regard to why you made the accommodations you did?
So in response, vote for it or not is of course your business. What I would suggest, though, is to the extent that you think something needs change, is make the amendment to do that, because we currently have competing pieces of legislation, right? Should this be voted down, BGPD is going to be completely aimless in this, as they have been. So this needs to be changed. How you change is, of course, up to you, but it is something that, legally speaking, does need to be changed. I could address each one of the points you made individually, is trying to remember them all, but if you have a specific question, I can attempt to answer that.
Because, Hunter, if I understand the existing law correctly, Chapter 123, micromobility devices, specifically prohibits operation of micromobility devices on sidewalks.
Correct.
While the existing 72.39 leaves that kind of up in the air, or within,
It specifically allows it.
specifically allows in certain instances.
Yeah.
All
almost,
instances?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a conflict, so Bill, that,
Yeah, that does
Yep.
clarify. Thank you, Hunter. It sounds like, if we don't do anything, it remains in place as a problem, which is, of course, what you're trying to tackle. So I can offer an amendment, certainly. The amendment, and I apologize to council, I didn't dive into this until after our guideline of midnight of Saturday night for amendments. It was not by planning, it was just what I had going on. So I would say that I would offer an amendment. I'm going to lump a couple things in here. One is that the definition would, and I leave it for others to come up with the specifics, but it said something about it has a handlebar, and I would strike that. And then also take out the sentence in a B1 that says, but may not be operated on sidewalks. I do think that it makes really good sense for the rental, because you're not going to be renting it to kids. So that I don't have a problem with. So that's my amendment to take out the handlebar. It says that has handlebars, take that out. And also take out but may not be operated on sidewalks in section A and B1.
Could I say a couple of comments based on that? So first off, the handlebar thing, this was designed to mirror the Ohio Revised Code, which is how we originally defined them, which is how we're continuing to define them. The only difference would be the addition of the word motorized as a way to regulate those which may go faster. It's very difficult to regulate the speed on a device like this, which is why you simply say motorized. The Ohio Revised Code very specifically defines what a low-speed micromobility device is. It's my belief that originally they did that to allow for the type of scooters that are used for medical purposes, which is why I have an exemption for that in there. The idea was you didn't want municipalities, places like that, outlawing those on sidewalks. We wanted to allow those. But as technology changes and devices change, eventually scooters got wrapped up into that, which is where we are now. So the idea is to allow for those devices that are used for medical purposes to be on sidewalks, but not the type of scooters that go 15, 20 miles per hour to be on them. So that's why the handlebar thing is there, is because it mirrors the Ohio Revised Code. As far as the operation on the sidewalks, I mean, that's obviously something that is your preference.
Hunter, would it make more sense then, based on trying to mirror the Ohio Revised Code, that we keep handlebars in there, but also somewhere include skateboards and unicycles and so forth?
You can, but those are defined separately, right? We're specifically talking about low-speed micromobility devices, which is the definition you find in there, which does not include those types of things. As far as the comment you made about regulating the ones that are rentals, we previously kind of had that. Right. And it's a weird thing because in the law, you don't really regulate things based on who owns them, right? Like you can get an OVI whether or not it's a rental car or not. It's no defense to almost anything to say, well, I own it versus I rented it. We have in our contract with the different e-scooter companies that you can only rent to adults, that kind of thing. But there's nothing about, and in that contract, it says it can't be on sidewalks, but that's kind of a contractual issue. That's not like a traffic violation or something like that.
So what you're saying is it's not as clear to differentiate that you can ride on the side, well, be silent on the sidewalk, but in the rental, you can't operate it on a sidewalk.
Correct. I mean, it basically does nothing to have that in the sidewalk to have that in the contract, because what does that mean for a person who rents from a company, right? Like they don't see that contract. It means that were there to be repeated violations of that, we would have some sort of cause of action for ending or a breach of that contract.
And I withdraw my motion to amend, and I'd like to make a motion to table this for additional clarification and work on the wording, et cetera. So table it, I would think we could do this in a couple of weeks. Hunter, are you available for getting this knocked out? I don't want to, obviously you're incredibly busy. If you would want this tabled for 2 meetings, I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, I think you're putting the cart before the horse, because that hasn't been voted on yet.
I'm sorry?
We haven't voted to table it.
You're absolutely right. I'm in the process of formulating my motion to know whether to table it for a next meeting or 2 meetings. Do you have a preference, Hunter?
I mean, were you to ask my preference, I would say I sent out a long email explaining all this that I would hope would have cleared up all this before tonight is all. So my preference would be no tabling, but I'm not in the tabling business. So
out of the 2 choices, you have nothing to say whether it be next meeting or 2 meetings from now? I do not. Okay. Then I move to table this until the next meeting. We'll see if there's a second.
Second.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
I'm opposed to tabling this.
Well, there's no discussion on tabling, so we're gonna have to let Jody call the roll first.
Robinette,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
No.
Phipps.
Yes.
Okay, so, ordinance 9303 is tabled till September
15th.
15th?
Yep.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Oh, thank you, council, for indulging me on this.
Everybody gets one.
Yep. Doesn't mean we'll vote yes for whatever you come up with.
That's fine.
All right. Jody, I believe ordinance 9297 comes off the table.
Correct.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps,
I move to adopt ordinance 9297.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. Jody?
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Musgrave,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 9297 is adopted.
Mr. President?
Is there any other business to come before council this evening?
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we excuse Jeff Dennis from tonight's meeting.
second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.
Bill, I'll meet with.